Hello and welcome back to my channel, Stitch It with Rachel. My name is Rachel and this is Knitting Podcast episode 3. Thank you so much for joining me. This is just going to be a traditional podcast episode. I'm going to be talking about my finished objects, my current works in progress. I have no new cast-ons, which I'm really proud of, and one acquisition at the end. So grab a cozy beverage. I've got a cup of Irish breakfast here. A project to work on, and come join me. So starting off, I'm going to talk about what I'm wearing. So this is my Novice sweater by Petiteknit. I finished this summer, so this is my first time actually like wearing it for the day, which is just so nice. It's also finally cold enough to wear it. This is a blend of alpaca and wool, so it's super, super warm. I actually got a skein of yarn out because I couldn't remember the details. So this is Uru Yarn Electric by knitcrate, and it is 40% Haikua alpaca. I'm not saying that right. You'll see the words here. 30% wool and 30% Surrey alpaca. So I got this on an absolute Black Friday steal last year. These were $5 a skein from Darn Good Yarn, I think. Yeah, I'm going $5 a skein, so 10 skeins was $50. So I could knit a larger size sweater for myself for only $50 out of good yarn. So not only did I bought 20 skeins is what I did. It was such a good price. Mind you, I'd never touched this yarn before, and I bought 20 skeins, which was a little foolish of me, but it turned out so good. The only thing, so alpaca, I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be so soft. And it is soft. It's super soft and squishy in the skein, and it's still soft, but I don't know if it's that 30% like wool, but there's just something a little prickly about it. Sorry, my dog's growling at somebody walking by down the road, so one. Something about that, I think 30% wool content that just makes it like a tiny bit prickly. So I have to wear, like I have a t-shirt on underneath, but it's even like, my skin's just sensitive, especially around my neck. So I might have to get like turtlenecks actually, and maybe even have it poke up above the sweater, which I don't love the look of, but it's still super warm, super cozy, and I'm still really happy with it. I just, have sensitive skin. So I'll have to wear like a long sleeve. Like I said, I have a t-shirt underneath, and like it's fine on my arms, but I can feel the prickliness, and it kind of, like in the background, like bothers me, if that makes any sense. So definitely need to get some like long sleeve, maybe like mock necks to go underneath this for the rest of the winter. But I will definitely like still wear it. Like I love how it fits, which is a little shocking because there's absolutely zero shaping. Excuse me. Let me take a quick drink. There's absolutely zero shaping in the Novice sweater. You cast on, you do a round yoke, there's no short rows, there's no shaping whatsoever, no bust darts, no waists, like nothing. And this fits so well. So I don't know if this just happens to be like my body shape fits this sweater well or what, but I'm really pleased with it. And because I have so much of this yarn left over, because I think I only used 8 skeins for this. I don't remember 100%, somewhere around 8 skeins. So I think I'm gonna make the champagne cardigan by Petiteknit. That's such like a classic basic staple kind of style. The V-neck, double knit band, all of that. And I think in this dark navy, it would just make a really like classic closet basic. And as a cardigan and a V-neck where it's not gonna be touching my neck or anything, I think I'll get a lot more wear out of it. Yeah, so I think that's my plan for the rest of this yarn. Moving on to other things. I have 4 finished objects, and 2 of them are knitting objects and 2 of them are sewing objects. And actually there's 3 sewing objects, but one of them's already gone, so I'll have to post pictures. So let's start with the knitting. So my 2 finished knitting objects, one of them is my grandpa socks, are all done, blocked, ends woven in, and everything. They turned out so good. I just really love how this hand-dyed yarn worked up in the ribbing. These were just, I didn't follow a pattern, it's just like a vanilla basic 2x2 ribbed sock. I did a Forethought heel, and I used the twice sheared sheep sock ruler, which is this is the first project I'm using it for, to help you like make socks for people without having like exact measurements of their feet. So I really hope that it's accurate and it works. My grandfather has a size US 13 for men's, which are some big feet, which is why these socks kind of look like weirdly long. But they're all done. Absolutely love how they came out, and I am so excited to gift these to him for Christmas. It's hard. Grandparents can be really hard to shop for. They're like, we don't need anything, but a hand knit gift, and they live on the Oregon coast, so cozy warm wool socks will definitely get used and appreciated. So I'm really thankful that I have something I can like make and give them that I know they will A, enjoy, and B, actually get used. So grandpa socks are all done. My next finished object are my Selbu mittens. These turned out so cute. I just love it. I'm so pleased. This was my first time making a pair of mittens. These were the Speedy Selbu mittens by Skeindeer knits. It's knit in an Aran weight yarn, so this is Drops Nepal. And it recommends, I think, 6mm needles. I did 5.5mm needles. And then it also says to use a needle size 2 sizes smaller for the ribbing, but that just made it like super tight. I did a little bit less. Like I cast on with that, didn't love it, took it off, and went up to a 4mm needle. So there's only 1.5 difference between the hands and the cuffs. Super, super fast. They're called Speedy for a reason. Like I knit one mitten in a day and one mitten in another. Actually, no, this one took a couple days because life and schedule, but I knit the other mitten just in a day. You could easily knit both pairs, I think, in one day. If you've done color work before, if if you kind of know what you're doing, like super speedy. Charts were super easy to follow. Like, yeah, super, super pleased. I will be making more Speedy Selbu mittens, but the only thing I did not like about this pattern is because of the needle size, I couldn't use mini circulars. So mini circulars stop at 5mm. And so I did these on magic loop. I hate magic loop. I only use it when I have to. Like for my socks, I use it for my toes and my heels, and that's fine. I don't love it, but it's fine, I hated using magic loop for these, not to mention magic loop and like color work. Like not like that part was not fun. Means to an end, worth it. But I want to make more of these, and I don't want to use magic loop again, so I bought some mini circulars that were 5 and 4mm, and I'm just going to try to knit them up on those and try to knit a little bit looser, and hopefully it'll be fine. It's only 0.5mm difference, so I feel pretty good about it. And like these aren't tight. Here, let me put them on for you guys. So I feel like 5mm will be just fine. And then also I think my tension's going to be a lot better in my color work because I'll be in mini circulars. So here they are on. I'm really pleased actually with the thumb gusset. Like there's a tiny bit of like stretching, like when you move your thumb out, that you can see like in the color work pattern here, but it's not bad, and I still have full like movement. There's no like restriction. And so these will fit my mom's hands really well. And I can just see her going on walks with the dog with these, and red and white are her favorite. I think I said this in my last podcast episode. She is a red, white snowflake Christmas girl. Like this is her in a nutshell. And she has no idea that I've made them, which just makes it so much more fun. She thinks she's not getting anything handmade for Christmas. Like she knows I'm working on Grandma and Grandpa's socks, and I'm doing all these other things for other people, and she's, I haven't said anything about what I'm making for her, so I think she thinks she's not getting anything. And so when she gets these, it'll be a fun surprise. So I don't think I have anything else to really say about these. Like I said, I knit it up in Drops Nepal, and no bleeding happened when I blocked, which was nice to know because I was a little worried there for a minute because I'm going red and white. I don't want pink blob mittens. And there was zero bleeding whatsoever. So Drops Nepal, doesn't bleed. Like I am now tempted to use this yarn for a colorwork sweater in the future because of, I mean, how well it turned out. I think it's got good stitch definition. It's actually really pretty soft. This one is like 65-35 wool alpaca. So it's really pretty soft. Like it's nice. Like I feel like I could wear this like next to skin on my neck. And it got softer after washing and blocking. So I'm excited to make a sweater with Nepal in the future. I think it would turn out really nice. I actually have Nepal for the step-by-step cardigan, which I talked about last time. So I'm excited now because I know like it'll be soft. This is the yarn that I have left. So they were each a 50-gram skein, and I had plenty of like extra. So if you decide to knit it a little bit, like the cuff a little bit longer, or if your gauge is a little different or something, like you've got like wiggle room when it comes to the yardage. I don't know what to do with these scraps. Like it's small enough that I can't just make like one thing with these. Like I can't make another pair of mittens. I can't, like, so I really don't know what to do with these, but I do have more Drops Nepal. And then I also got some Cascade 220 to make mittens with. So maybe when I'm done making more mittens and I have all these kind of odds and ends scraps, I can make scrappy mittens. The sea glass mittens that just came out by Woolen Pine, I think it is, are so cute. And that's just like 1x1 color work. And so maybe if I have enough like different colors and stuff, those could make some really fun, cute, like scrappy mittens. That could be really fun. If you have any other good like scrappy project recommendations for like Aran worsted weight, please let me know. Drop it in the comments. But so that, I think that's really all I want to say about these. Do recommend the pattern. Just either be prepared to do color work on magic loop or go down in needle size and hope you don't knit too tightly. Yeah. So my other finished objects are sewing. I'm so excited about this. I've wanted to get into sewing for a while. My mom sews. She quilted when I was a kid. She's trying to get back into it. As an adult, she got busy and kind of stopped crafting, actually, which is a little sad. I'm trying to get her back into that world. So she gave me, well, not gave me, let me borrow her old Husqvarna sewing machine and taught me little quick basics, did some little scrap projects, and then I just jumped into making some project bags. So I absolutely love the super cute like hand sewn project bags people have for their knitting. There's a couple sellers on Etsy and stuff. And I just want to make some of my own because I'll see super cute fabric at Joann's when I go to like poke around and look at yarn or whatever. And I'll be like, oh, that's so cute. That would make such a cute project bag. Like, well, I don't know how to make a project bag. And now I do. So I made, the video I followed was a YouTube video. And I cannot remember, this is what I get for not making podcast notes. Sorry, guys. I cannot remember the handle, but she is a vlogger and a knitting and crochet podcaster. I believe her name's Amy. Wow, I'm really slacking today, guys. Anyways, I'll put her info up here and down in the description. But she has these dodgy little bag tutorials from like 4 years ago during COVID, and they're fantastic. So there's a drawstring bag and a zipper bag tutorial. And she is so real and so funny. She calls them her dodgy little bags because she's like, I don't always measure properly. Things don't always line up. Sometimes it's a little, we'll see if it works out. And it was just so fun. The tutorial worked really well for me. Like I loved having it be like, it doesn't have to be exact. It's going to turn out fine. It's a project bag, like don't let this stress you out. You don't have to measure things perfectly. Like it's going to be okay. Anyways, highly recommend the videos. Had so much fun. Let me show you what I made. So the very first one I made was the drawstring bag. Look how cute. So I saw this fabric at Joann's and it was so cozy and fall. You see the little green cardigan there. And I just could not get over it. I'm like, I have to have this fabric and I have to make something with it. And the bottom is just a pair of jeans we were going to donate. So I cut those up. And then the inside is this pretty like leafy green pattern. And I'm so like impressed with myself and how it turned out. Like my seams line up really nicely. We've got a boxed bottom, like, and she takes you through all of this, and it was just, yeah, highly recommend her video. I had so much fun, and now I'm obsessed. I'm now going to be also a crazy sewing lady, and you know how your yarn stash, right? Fabric shopping is now going to be dangerous. Like not just yarn shopping, but fabric shopping, because like, ooh, I can make a bag with that. So I after I finished this, I actually kidnapped my mom and took her to Joann's with me to help me pick up more fabric. So I'm like, oh, I have to make so many more of these. I'm obsessed. And so I got a whole bunch of fabric, and then I made some more. So I then made I made another drawstring bag, but I don't have it on me because I gifted it to my grandma for her birthday. Today's her birthday. And my mom was going to visit her, so I sent it with her. So I'll put a little picture up here of what the bag looked like, and then also a picture of my adorable grandma with her bag. So this one was pansies. Pansies are her favorite, and then purple's her favorite color, so I did the lining in purple. This was a large, so it's bigger than the one I made, a large size drawstring for her crochet projects as well, because she crochets. And it was just so much fun. Super pleased with how it turned out. Again, I used denim from that same pair of jeans we cut up for the first bag. It turned out super cute. I did put a pocket in this one, but I improved the pocket on my third bag. So yes, super pleased with that one. So I did 2 drawstring, and then I was like, okay, I want to try the zippered one, and because it seemed a little harder. And it's not harder, it's a tiny bit fussier in some spots, but it's really like, if you can do one, you can do the other. And so then this is my zippered bag. Like, I made these. Ugh. So super beautiful sunflower design. It's got these little like, I don't know, like little berries is kind of what they look like. And so this is actually what the lining is this gorgeous burnt orange with gold polka dots. And then that's what I made the handle out of. So here's the inside. You see the pockets. My pockets improved significantly. Yeah, and it's just that really pretty burnt orange and polka dots, which I feel like pulls from the little berries on the bag. And the zipper zips beautifully. I actually sewed it on pretty decently too for my first time sewing a zipper. Again, box bottom. This was fabric that I bought from Joann's, just like a canvas, like outdoor fabric, in this kind of neutral tan khaki kind of color, which I thought would go nice with some other things as well. So yeah, those are all of my project bags that I sewed. I am so excited to just make so many more. Like now it's going to be hard to choose between like sewing and knitting, maybe when I have free time for projects. I did, like I said, I went to the craft store and I bought some more fabric. One of the fabrics I bought, I'm not going to go get it because I'm not 100% sure actually where I put it, but I want a like wintry bag to match my Cargill sweater as I work on that through the winter. So I got this really pretty like blue, silvery, wintry fabric, and then like a pretty like snowflake one for the inside. And so I'm going to make a large, I think drawstring, so a zipper. I think the drawstrings are actually a little bit cuter, but we'll see. Anyway, so now I'm going to start making bags to match my projects. And there's just something about that like brings me so much joy. Like, yes, please. So I'm gonna have my icy blue wintry Cargill sweater in this really pretty wintry blue project bag, and I want to get some little like snowflake stitch stoppers or something maybe too, like really just go all out, get a little like progress keeper or something. I don't know. So super excited for all that. I've also got some fabric to make for gifts for friends and family for Christmas too. So some additional kind of like gift knits, gift sews. You know what I mean? Like I have a friend who's coming to take care of my cats over Thanksgiving break while we're up at our family ranch. So I'm going to make her a cute little project bag. She crochets, but she's having me teach her how to knit. She wants to learn how to make socks. So I'm going to make this super cute bag, and then I'm going to put like sock knitting needles, the I'm So Basic sock pattern by Summer Lee, and a skein of sock yarn in there for her as a thank you gift. And I think she's going to absolutely love it. And I'm going to love making it for her. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, those are all of my finished objects. So next, let's get into whips. I have 4 4 whips. So first of all, last time you saw me, I had not started my grandma socks yet. So I talked about the grandpa socks. Now we're on the grandma socks. And not only did I start them, but they're almost done. I think they turned out so cute. Now, mind you, we did hit a little hiccup. So this fun self-striping yarn with scraps, and I had 2 balls. They were supposed to be the same weight. I didn't actually weigh them before I started, though. And so I was like, oh, I'll just knit till they're done and they'll be the same. Let me see here. I'm also doing Forethought heels. So I'm going to line up my little Forethought line here. So this is the first sock I finished, and I knit till the yarn was done, and I started the cuff. This is the second sock, and I've run out of yarn. And there's a good, like, 1.5 inch difference. So I have to rip out the cuff and rip back the sock and fix this, because I can't have that big of a difference. And I don't know how. I'm not sure how, because, like, these should have been the same weight or really close to the same weight. So anyways, a little bit of a hiccup, but, like, won't take me back too far. I will just, luckily I didn't bind off the ribbing. I held off on that, which I'm really glad. So I'll just completely rip out the ribbing and then count. This is part of why I haven't, like, finished these, is because I don't want to do the counting part. So I'm going to count how many rows this is on this sock, and then count how many rows till I would be there on this sock, and then that's where I'll put my needles in to redo the ribbing. And I just really don't want to do the counting, which is why these have halted after I made such speedy progress on them. So, but once I just sit down and make myself do that, then all I will have to do is pop in those Forethought heels, and these will be done. So these will easily be done at some point this week. I just have to sit down and make myself, like, do the fussy bits. Maybe I'll do that today, but we'll see. I'm not sure I'm feeling the fussy bits. So anyways, those are grandma sock progress. Super, super pleased with how these have turned out. She's going to absolutely love them, and I'm so excited. These are just I don't think I said, not following a pattern, just vanilla sock, like what my vanilla sock pattern in my head kind of thing. So these I did toe up. Grandpa socks I did cuff down. Grandma socks I'm doing toe up. I did them so I could use all of the yarn. Still didn't quite work out, but that's just my fault on the yarn side, like weight and all that, not on the sock side. So that's why I did them toe up, so I could use as much of that as possible, if not all of it. I also just really love toe up socks for that purpose. The only thing I don't like about toe up socks is the bind off on the ribbing. It just never, like, looks super neat. It, like, tends to, like, flare. There's a bunch of different ones. There's, like, Jenny's stretchy bind off or something, and I think the Icelandic bind off has been recommended for toe up socks too. I don't remember now. So that's the only reason I don't love toe up socks, because I don't like how the cuff looks when you're done. So I'm going to do some investigating and try some new techniques and hopefully find one that I like. If you have recommendations, please drop them down in the comments. If you have a tried and true, like, bind off for the cuff for socks, yeah, please let me know. So those are the grandma socks in my cute new sock project bag. Like, I get so much joy out of crafting out of something that I made to hold my crafts, like, next level. All right, moving on to my next whip. It's the Crochet Baby blanket. I made a ton of progress, guys. Like, we are so close to the finish line. So I actually worked on this like a mad woman last night. I worked on it periodically over the last 2 weeks. It only made maybe like 3 inches of progress, and I had, like, just added a new skein. I'm like, if I add and finish this new skein, it should be the right length and I'll be done. And so I was just, like, bound and determined to get this finished. So this little yellow marker here is where I was last time. So I did a good 6 inches, 7 inches. I don't know, like, that's a good bit of progress there. And then I was, like, about done with the skein, and I thought I had enough to do 1 round of single crochet around the border. And I like to do that because, let me see if I can find, yeah. So like on this, I haven't done this edge yet. Like it's just a little like wonky kind of from where you start and stop the rows and stuff. So I wanted to do one round of single crochet in white before doing the rainbow border, just so that like the white looked like smooth. You know what I mean? Like if I had red going into the white in the holes and stuff to like make it wouldn't look as neat, I didn't think. So that's why I'm doing that. And of course, though, I got halfway around the border and ran out of yarn. And of course, I do not have a second skein of white cotton to finish the border. And this is the I Love This Cotton from Hobby Lobby. And today is Sunday, and so they are closed. And I don't even know if this week is yarn sale week, because every other week all their yarn is 30% off. So hard halt. I could like rip back like one row of the blanket, and then I'd have enough to go all the way around. But like this is like just long enough, and really maybe the baby blanket should be a few more rows longer. But once I add the border, I'm like, it'll be fine. And so I really don't want to like take a row out because I really don't want it any shorter, but also I'm so close. So that's the current struggle, but like the body of the blanket is done. And I just have the border left to do. So like this will get done this week, which is fantastic because the baby that this is for is due on November 12th, and today is November 3rd. So I'm actually going to get this baby done in time for little baby's arrival, which I'm super pleased about because the last baby blanket I made, mountain baby blanket, was like 3 months late. Luckily, my cousins who it was for loved it just as much, and they've sent me so many cute pictures of him on it. They love it. I'm not going to share them because I don't know if they want pictures of him on the internet, but he is so cute. I love that they send me pictures of him on the blanket and they love and use it. That's what I hope for when I make baby blanket gifts. So that is the baby blanket update. I plan to get this done this week. Like this and my grandma socks are like the focus for this week when I have downtime. I just need to get yarn to finish this, which I'll have to try to do tomorrow after the hospital maybe. Hopefully it's yarn sale week, but if not, it's not the end of the world. Like it's pretty cheap. It's like $2 something a skein, maybe $3 something a skein, US dollars. So like, yes, if I could save 30%, that'd be great. But also I'm not going to wait a week just to finish this blanket. So that is the baby blanket update. Next, we have the leaflet scarf. So this is for my best friend Teresa, who's coming to visit. If you've watched my previous episodes, you know all about this. And I didn't make a ton of progress on this week, but as you can see, I've been very busy elsewhere. But I did still make some progress, which is nice. So I have a hard time with this because it's chart, right? It's in charts. And like me and like the way my brain works, if I start a chart, I have to finish a chart. Like I can't stop, like I need to be able to start and finish a chart like in one sitting. So that makes it kind of hard to find time to work on this. And of course, like you don't have to, but like I said, it's just the way my brain works. And I just feel like it makes it so much easier to pick it up and put it down. Like I know every time I pick this up, I'm at the beginning of a chart. Like there's no doubt about it. And I always like write down and make notes for myself and stuff. So that way I just like don't make mistakes. So here, let me actually show you. I'm yammering on about it without showing you. Here she is. She's getting long. Like we got an arm length here. This is my stitch marker from last time. So I made one chart repeat. This is maybe 4 inches or so. Good little bit of progress. I'm at like the halfway point for the scarf, which is good. Here, let me change this stitch marker before I forget for next time. So my friend Teresa that this is for is coming on December 17th. So this needs to be done like 2 weeks before Christmas, a week before Christmas. So I am planning on working on this over my Thanksgiving break. So I'll have a week off from school and clinic at the hospital. And I can easily knit like a chart a day. And that's like knitting and eat, drink, take the dog for a walk, you know, like that kind of thing. So I could even probably get through 2 charts, especially because now that things are going to be getting smaller, the charts will get a little bit faster because there's less stitches, you know. But yeah, so my goal is to have this finished by the end of Thanksgiving break, which is in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. So by the time I have my next podcast episode, because I'm trying to do them like every 2 weeks, that seems to work pretty well with me, schedule wise, as well as I've done enough to actually like show you guys stuff. So if I don't get this worked on before next time, like I'm not gonna be mad about it. I've got some other things to focus on. And then I know like I can like plow through and like finish this over Thanksgiving break. So if I have time in the next 2 weeks, I will definitely like try to do a chart. But if I don't, like it's not the end of the world. I know that I will finish this over Thanksgiving break. And yeah, I talked about this in a little more depth in previous podcast episodes, so I don't want to like go into too much detail if you're a rewatcher. But loving it. Great pattern. The lace pattern is super easy to read once you get going. Like I hardly even have to look at my charts, which is a little wild because when I first bought the pattern, like the charts were like overwhelming. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to make this? It's so much easier than it looks, and it's so much fun. So that is the leaflet update. I am so excited to have this finished, to gift it, but also because then I think I mentioned this last time, but I want to cast one on for me. Like this has been such a fun knit, and I think in like a gorgeous like autumnally kind of shade, like a really pretty forest mossy green, maybe even I think a dark teal would work, even though that's not leafy, but like leaves aren't purple either. Well, not this shade of purple, whatever. I'm rambling. I'm loving this, making progress. We'll have it finished in time, and I'm excited to cast one on for me eventually. So I only have one more whip. So this, I'm so excited about this. This is my Cargill sweater. So in last episode of the podcast, I had cast on and then sadly had to rip out everything after I had finally connected the yoke. So completely ripped it out and started over, and this is how far I've gotten. Look, guys. Isn't she gorgeous? Yeah, so I started over, which was the right decision. It's always a little hard to decide to like frog and start over, but definitely the right decision. Second time around, the beginning, so the beginning of this pattern like is not very clear, and I'm not the only one who's had this struggle. Like if you search the internet, this is a common issue with the beginning of this pattern. But once I figured out like what she actually wanted, like what she was trying to say, I was like, oh, why do you just say that? Anyways, and we were off to the races. So second time around, especially then too, like I knew what to do, and I had no issues like knitting this up. And then yeah, it's just so potato chippy. Like I can't put it down, which is kind of a problem. Like I've got gift knits to knit. Granted, I'm making very good progress on those, and it's the beginning of November. Like I'm fine, but yeah, this is so much fun. It's so potato chippy. The dip stitch repeat is 4 rows, so it's like every 4 rows you've like made like, you know, you get the sense of like accomplishment or joy or you know, dopamine. And so it's so hard to put this down. Like you're just like, oh, let's just do one more set, like 4 more rows, and like 4 more rows is like nothing. You're like, yeah, 4 more rows, 4 more rows. Next thing you know, it's midnight. You didn't do your homework. And yeah, so this is starting to get me into a little bit of trouble because I don't want to put it down. But yeah, I am super excited. This, like I said, I want to make that really pretty like wintry project bag to stick this in because it's this gorgeous kind of like icy light blue. And I would love to have this done before Christmas. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I would really love to have this done before Christmas so I could wear it this winter. It is so squishy, so cozy, so soft. I'm knitting this up in Drops Daisy, which is a merino yarn, and it is super soft. I am, however, a little worried. I have since I purchased this yarn and started this project, seen people like comment and stuff about Drops Daisy and how it pills and felts like really badly. So I'm a little concerned now that I'm going to put all this effort into this gorgeous sweater and then it's going to look terrible over time because of the yarn I chose. So, but like I'm not ripping back. Like I bought the yarn and I bought it like a couple months ago, so like I can't really return it. So we're just gonna go for it and just hope and pray. It's not actually that bad. If you have experience with Drops Daisy, please let me know in the comments what your experience is with it and how like your sweaters or cardigans, whatever you've knit with this, have worn. I'm hoping for good news. So yes, if you have experience, please let me know. I do recommend this pattern. Like I said, the beginning's finicky because it's just not very clearly explained. So if you're an advanced knitter and you can figure it out for yourself, you'll be just fine. If you're a little bit newer, if you just like go to your local yarn shop to ask for help, or have a friend or a grandma or someone who knits, like once you get it figured out, like I don't really want to say anything because it's a paid pattern, but like once you get it figured out, you're like, oh, and then it's a breeze. Like especially once you're like fully in the round, like you have to knit flat for the first 12 rows, and that's kind of, you know, not everyone's favorite, but once you're in the round, it's such a breeze. It's so much fun. And it's so cool. Like it looks really fancy, but it's a really basic like 4-row repeat stitch pattern. And only one of those rows are you actually doing the like dip part. So having fun, would recommend actually. And yeah, I can't wait to hopefully have this done in time for Christmas. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's really all I have to say about it. Ooh, let me put in, I'll put in a stitch marker. I don't have one on hand, so I'll have to find one. But I'll put in a little stitch marker for next time so I can show you how far I've gotten. Hopefully next time I see you guys, I will have separated for sleeves. That's my goal. And that would only be, I think, like 20 more rows for me to finish the yoke before splitting for sleeves. So like totally doable. So that's my goal for that. That's the sweater update. I'm having so much fun and I can't wait to wear it. So let's see. That's it. We're on to yarn acquisitions. So I only have one acquisition this week, and so there was a local yarn festival. I use air quotes because there was only 4 vendors, so that's not quite a festival to me. But it's new. They're trying to grow it. Everyone was so nice and sweet. There was some really beautiful yarn. So like I'm really excited to see this actually grow and turn into a festival. I went with my friend Ashley. Hello, Ashley. And I did buy a skein of sock yarn. Real quick though, there were 2 indie dyed like sock vendors. Not sock vendors, they had sock yarn. That's what I always look for. Yarn vendors, indie dyers. There was a fiber stall for spinning, and then there was also a like hand sewn project bag stall. So like not a ton, but like a little bit of everything. And again, like everyone was super nice. There was like a group of ladies together like spinning and like knitting and just like some good like communal vibes. So I'm really hoping that this grows bigger. I'll be excited to go again next year and see. Anyways, the yarn I bought is this gorgeous like pinky brown skein of sock yarn. Oh, it's just stunning. So I am not a neutrals girly, generally speaking. There was a skein of sock yarn that was like moody Oregon coast ocean. So like deep, moody teals, little bits of like seafoam green for like crashing waves and like that vibe in a skein of yarn. Like the colors were just, oh, they were so pretty. But I always go for those colors. And so it's like, how many skeins of sock yarn do you need like in these general color vibes? Like branch out, try something new. And so I put that skein back and I got this one. I don't have anything like this in my stash. I don't wear generally colors like this either, but I just thought the kind of pinkish tone to the brown made it a little more enticing to me. I think it's just gorgeous, and I think it'll make a beautiful pair of like kind of neutral socks to wear with my Birks. And this was, sorry, Inner Yarn Zen, Find Your Balance. I think she has an Etsy store. I will do my best to check and put those details down below. As per usual, I don't think I've said it yet, but everything I'm talking about, details will be down in the description. The name of this colorway is Redwood, which seems very appropriate. I love that. And this is 75/25 superwash merino and nylon. So super excited to knit these up. I'm not sure whether I'll just do a vanilla sock or maybe like something with a slight like texture or something. There's enough variegation that I don't think cables would really pop. So maybe I just do a vanilla sock and kind of let the yarn shine. I would want to do, I usually prefer to do like a contrast heel, toe, cuff, or some combination thereof. So I think I'm going to find like a pretty brown color to do a combination or a contrast for the heel and cuff with these, and just have a really cute neutrally pinky brown pair of hand knit socks. So I do believe that is everything, guys. Yeah, that's all I have to talk about. Thank you so much for being here and joining me. I want to have a shout out to anyone who has subscribed so far. Thank you so much. It means the world to me that there's other people out there who enjoy sitting down and listening to me yammer on about my crafting. So if you have subscribed, thank you so much. It means the world to me. If you're new and you've enjoyed this and you would give a like, a comment, or subscribe, I would love that. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you guys next time.